Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Culture Code English. Sit down with me, relax, and take a deep breath. Today, I want to share something that can completely change the way you learn, hear, and speak English. Many people believe that speaking English fluently depends on learning thousands of difficult vocabulary words. They believe they must memorize complicated grammar rules or translate every sentence perfectly from their native language. But the truth is much simpler than that. The real secret to fluency is training your brain to think directly in English. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. You did not open a heavy grammar book. You did not translate sentences in your head. You listened. You observed. You repeated. And slowly, your brain connected English sounds directly with ideas, actions, feelings, and real-life experiences. That is exactly how you should learn English too. Your brain is already designed to learn languages naturally. You simply need to guide it in the right direction. Many learners tell me, "Teacher, I understand English, but I cannot speak." Does this sound familiar to you? You hear a question and you know the answer. But before you speak, your brain freezes. It starts translating every single word from your mother tongue into English. You check the grammar, you find the words, and by the time you are ready to open your mouth, the conversation has already moved on. This is not because you are not smart. It happens because your brain has become dependent on translation. From today, I want you to stop thinking of English as a school subject. It is not a history lesson. It is not a math equation. It is a living, breathing language. Languages are meant to be spoken, heard, and felt. Every sentence you hear is an opportunity to build a direct connection in your mind. Today, we are going to break your translation habit. I am going to give you a complete, step-by-step blueprint to train your brain to think directly in English, so you can speak fluently without hesitation. Let us enter the first stage of our blueprint, cutting the translation chain. To stop translating, you must train your brain to build a direct path between your thoughts and English sounds. Here are the first 3 steps to make this happen. Step 1, the morning mindset warm-up. Retraining your brain starts the very moment you open your eyes in the morning. Instead of letting your brain default to your native language, I want you to practice a simple morning dialogue inside your head. As you get out of bed, say simple, easy English sentences to yourself. Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. I need to brush my teeth. I need to drink some water. I am getting ready. These are not difficult sentences, but by saying them first thing in the morning, you are giving your mind a gentle English warm-up. You are teaching your brain to produce thoughts directly in English before the busyness of the day begins. Let me tell you about Chloe. Chloe used to struggle with heavy translation loops all day. Her teacher told her to try the morning warm-up. Every morning, while brushing her teeth and making breakfast, she forced herself to say 3 simple sentences in her mind. I am brushing my teeth. The water is cold. I am cooking breakfast. At first, it felt strange, but after just 2 weeks, her brain began to switch to English mode automatically every morning. The translation delay during her day started to disappear because she had primed her brain to think in English from the very first minute. Step 2. The Apple method, direct visual mapping. When you learn a new English word, what is your first instinct? Many learners immediately translate it into their native language. But when you do this, you are teaching your brain to translate. You are building a permanent barrier between English and the real world. To think in English, you must connect English words directly to pictures, actions, and feelings. If you learn the word apple, do not think of the translation in your language. Imagine a fresh, crisp, red apple hanging from a tree. If you learn the word run, do not translate it. Picture someone running through a beautiful green park. Visual pictures stay in your memory much longer than dry translations, and they allow your brain to bypass your native language completely. Let me tell you about Ethan. Ethan used to keep vocabulary notebooks with English on the left and translations on the right. He memorized hundreds of words, but he could never use them in conversations because his brain had to search through his mental dictionary to translate them. Ethan decided to try a different way. He threw away his translation notebooks. When he wanted to learn a new word, he searched for it on Google Images. He looked at the pictures, felt the meaning, and repeated the sound. When he learned excited, he pictured a smiling, jumping child. When he learned exhausted, he pictured a tired person resting on a couch. By linking sounds directly to pictures, Ethan successfully cut out the middleman. His comprehension became instant, and he began speaking without translating. Step 3. Convert your digital environment. Your brain is highly adaptable. It naturally conforms to whatever language surrounds it. If your phone, your computer, and your daily life are entirely in your native language, English will always feel like a foreign stranger. You must invite English to become a normal part of your environment. This step is simple but highly effective. Change your phone and computer settings to English. Read simple English children's books or short articles. Watch English videos with English subtitles if necessary. Listen to slow English while you are walking, cooking, or relaxing. The more your brain is exposed to English in daily, unconscious moments, the more natural the language becomes. Let me tell you about Maya. Maya felt like English was always far away from her real life. She decided to Englishize her environment. She changed her phone language, her social media settings, and even her GPS navigation voice to English. At first, she made a few mistakes and felt lost, but she kept going. She also started listening to easy English podcasts while cleaning her room. Within a month, seeing and hearing English became completely normal for Maya's brain. She no longer saw English as a difficult school subject. It felt like a natural part of her daily world. Because she was surrounded by the language, her brain stopped treating it like a foreign code and began using it naturally to think and react. Now we move to the second stage of our blueprint: deliberate practice in daily life. You do not need to study for hours at a desk to think in English. You just need to bring English into the small, normal moments of your day. Step 4. Outdoor surroundings narration. When you walk outside, go to work, or run errands, your brain has a wonderful opportunity to practice. Instead of walking in silence or thinking in your native language, try describing everything you see around you directly in English. Notice the sky, the trees, the cars, the people, and the weather. Keep your sentences short, simple, and clear. Say in your mind, "The sky is blue, the road is busy, a child is running, the weather is warm, that car is fast." This simple exercise teaches your brain to connect English directly with the physical world around you. Because the real world moves quickly, your brain does not have time to translate. It must output the English words instantly to keep up with what your eyes are seeing. Let me tell you about Liam. Liam knew a lot of English vocabulary, but whenever he tried to speak, he froze. His mind was too busy translating. He decided to practice outdoor narration. Every day, during his 10-minute walk to the bus stop, he narrated his surroundings. A yellow leaves on the ground. A big bus is coming. A man is drinking coffee. Because the bus and the cars were moving fast, Liam's brain was forced to drop the translation process. He had to think directly in English to keep up. Within 3 weeks, his mental translation barrier was broken. He could speak to his coworkers instantly because he had trained his brain to connect sounds directly to actions. Step 5. The 15-minute seed rule. Many English learners become discouraged because they feel like they are making no progress. They listen to a podcast, practice for 1 day, and say, "I still cannot think in English." But language learning is like planting a seed. When you put a seed in the soil, you cannot see anything happening at first. But beneath the surface, out of sight, the roots are growing deep and strong. One day, a small green shoot appears, and then it grows taller every week. Your English develops in exactly the same quiet way. To build these deep roots, consistency is much more powerful than intensity. Studying English for 15 minutes every single day is far more effective than cramming for 3 hours only on Sundays. Daily repetition teaches your brain that English is not a special chore. It is a normal, necessary part of your daily life. Let me tell you about Zoe. Zoe used to attend a 3-hour English grammar class every Saturday, but during the rest of the week, she never touched the language. She felt stressed, frustrated, and her speaking never improved. Zoe decided to try the 15-minute seed rule. She stopped her long Saturday class and committed to just 15 minutes of focused English every single day. She spent 5 minutes listening, 5 minutes speaking to herself, and 5 minutes writing a few sentences. At first, it felt too easy, and she thought she was doing nothing. But quietly, beneath the surface, her brain was building new neural connections. After 3 months, Zoe woke up one morning and realized she was naturally thinking in English. Her daily 15-minute habit had built the deep, strong roots that her 3-hour weekend class could never create. Now we enter the 3rd stage of our blueprint: stress-free output and cognitive restructuring. To speak fluently, you must take the English you have absorbed and let it flow out in a safe environment. Here are the final 3 steps to rewrite your brain's processing system. Step 6. The mirror Q&A. Speaking to yourself may feel unusual at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to build confidence. To do this, stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and start a conversation. Ask yourself simple questions and answer them out loud. How are you feeling today? What are your plans for the weekend? What are your hobbies? Because you are alone in your room, there is absolutely no pressure. Nobody is judging your grammar. Nobody is correcting your pronunciation. This safe environment allows your brain to relax. When your brain is relaxed, the translation filter shuts down, and words can flow directly from your thoughts to your mouth. Let me tell you about Thomas. Thomas wanted to practice speaking, but he had no conversation partners and was terrified of making mistakes in front of others. He decided to try the mirror Q&A. Every night, he spent 5 minutes talking to himself in the bathroom mirror. He introduced himself, talked about his day, and asked himself simple questions. At first, he felt silly. But slowly, he got used to the sound of his own English voice. The physical movements of speaking English became comfortable. When he finally spoke to a native speaker at work, his fear was gone. He spoke smoothly because he had already practiced the exact same movements in front of his mirror. Step 7. Memorize chunks, not isolated words. Your brain does not think in individual words. It thinks in blocks of meaning or chunks. If you only memorize single words from lists, you are forcing your brain to act like a factory. Every time you want to speak, your brain must find the subject, find the verb, find the adjective, glue them together with grammar rules, and then translate them. This assembly line is too slow for real-life conversations. To bypass translation, you must learn complete phrases instead of isolated words. Instead of memorizing only the word happy, learn the entire chunk, I am happy to see you. Instead of memorizing only the word help, learn the phrase, can you help me? Your memory retains complete expressions much more easily than individual words, and your mouth can produce them instantly because they are already pre-assembled in your mind. Let me tell you about Lily. Lily used to study vocabulary by memorizing 50 single words a day, but in conversations, she spoke very slowly, assembling her sentences word by word like Lego blocks. She always felt stuck. Lily decided to change her strategy. She stopped memorizing single words and started collecting useful chunks. When she heard a native speaker say, "Actually, I think," or "I am looking forward to," she wrote down the entire phrase. She practiced saying these pre-made blocks. The next time she spoke, her brain did not have to build sentences from zero. It simply pulled out the pre-assembled blocks and delivered them instantly. Her speaking became fluid, natural, and translation-free. Step 8. The Bedtime 5-Sentence Journal. Every evening before you go to sleep, your brain goes through a natural process of organizing the day's memories. This is the perfect time to run a simple English update on your mind. Take a small notebook and write 5 or 6 simple sentences about your day directly in English. Write about what you did, what you learned, how you felt, or what you plan to do tomorrow. Today I went to work. I had lunch with my friend. The weather was a bit rainy. I felt tired but happy. Tomorrow I will wake up early. This simple nightly review forces your brain to organize its thoughts, memories, and logical flows directly in English. Over time, writing these simple sentences trains your brain to structure its daily experiences in English, making the language feel like a natural part of your mind when you wake up. Let me tell you about Ryan. Ryan struggled to organize his thoughts when speaking. He felt like his mind was always in a jumble of translation. Ryan started keeping a bedtime journal. Every night before sleeping, he wrote just 5 simple sentences about his day. He did not worry about perfect grammar. He just wanted to put his thoughts directly onto the paper. After 1 month of this consistent nightly practice, Ryan noticed a profound shift. His brain had developed a natural English structure. When he spoke during the day, he no longer had to translate from his mother tongue because his bedtime journal had trained his brain to naturally organize its memories in English first. The art of simple English and paraphrasing. My dear students, never fear forgetting words. Even native speakers sometimes forget words in their own language. The problem is not that you forget a word. The problem is that when you forget, you panic and stay silent. To become a confident speaker, you must learn the art of paraphrasing. If you cannot remember a specific, difficult word, simply explain the idea using simpler English. If you cannot remember the word refrigerator, say, "The cold box we use to keep food fresh." If you cannot remember the word airplane, say, "The machine that flies in the sky." Paraphrasing is not a sign of weakness. It is one of the ultimate signs of a highly confident, fluent speaker. Also, you must change your internal dialogue. If you keep telling yourself, English is so difficult, I can never think in English, your brain starts believing it. Instead, tell yourself, I am improving every day. I can learn English. I enjoy practicing. Positive thoughts create positive actions, and positive actions create lasting, beautiful results. Remember, learning English is not a race. Everyone has a completely different journey. The only person you should compare yourself with is the person you were yesterday. If you know just one more word today than you did yesterday, you are moving forward. On difficult days when you feel tired, do not quit completely. Even 5 minutes of listening or speaking keeps your neural habit alive. Consistency is much more valuable than perfection. Always remember your why you started this journey. Perhaps you want better career opportunities, to travel, to study abroad, or simply to enjoy books and movies. Keep your purpose in your heart because it will give you strength whenever you feel discouraged. Your final promise. Let us summarize our complete blueprint today. To train your brain to think in English, start your morning with simple mental sentences. Map English words directly to pictures and actions. Change your digital environment. Practice outdoor narration. Stay consistent with the 15-minute seed rule. Talk to yourself in front of a mirror. Memorize useful chunks instead of single words. And write a simple 5-sentence bedtime journal. Look how far you have already come in this video. You have been listening to pure English without subtitles for many minutes now. You did not need your native language to understand Culture Code English today. That proves you are ready. Your brain is incredibly powerful, and it is already learning to process English directly. So, from today, make one simple promise to yourself. Do not translate every thought. Give your brain the opportunity to think directly in English. Speak even when your sentences are simple. Listen every day, read every day, write every day, and think every day. These small daily actions will create extraordinary results over time. If you are truly serious about breaking the translation habit, if you are ready to train your brain to think directly in English, leave a physical commitment in the comments right now. Type, I will think in English in the comments below. By writing these words, you make a promise to your future self. And whenever you feel discouraged, come back to this video, look at your comment, and remind yourself of your strength. Thank you for spending this valuable time with me today. Keep practicing with patience, keep training your brain, and believe in your wonderful journey on Culture Code English.